Welcome to the Legends of Lanimora Podcast. I'm your Dungeon Master, Nathan. With me this evening, I have Emily.
Hello.
Nova.
Heyo.
And Nicole.
What's up?
We are 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. In last week's episode, our party was awoken in the middle of the night by the consul of the Circle of All, whose apartment they were staying in, underneath a tree. The tree, to be exact. He said there's a disturbance out on the... he said there's a disturbance out on the edge of the Circle of All, and they went to investigate. They went through a tree tunnel. Drew had some spooky stuff happening where she was sensing spirits, and when they got out of this tree tunnel that somehow got them to the edge of the Circle of All much quicker than it normally would take. Where it would take a day and a half, it took a matter of minutes.
Oh, so like Game of Thrones speed.
But this is actual magic. They were on boats. They didn't have magic boats.
Or
they
flying
were regular
dragons
boats
that apparently are faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, but anyway, I digress. So, Magic Tree took them to the edge of the Circle of All, where they saw a harrowing sight. There were a lot of things happening when they got there. The bridge, the Blossom Bridge, or the Bridge of Blossoms, sorry, that goes from Gizmoboro to the Circle of All had been demolished. And there was carnage all around. There were druids laying dead in the grass and the foliage that were being reclaimed by the circle itself. As we know, plants grow a lot quicker in the Circle of All. There were boulders that looked like they shouldn't have been there. Scar was able to deduce that these boulders looked like they had come from siege weaponry. And Asla, who was with them, the lioness from a few episodes ago, well, she's been in every episode for the last, 3 episodes, so she's still here. She wild-shaped into a crane, and Saf went with her to go look at the other side and see what was happening, to see if there was some attack coming from Gizmoboro via siege weapon, and there was not. There was chaos and carnage on that side as well, and they met with a dwarf woman who was helping with survivors, getting them into the nearest taverns and inns and everything, and she described what could only be an ammo that had destroyed the bridge. And it came as quickly, or it left as quickly as it appeared. Saf ran a magical diagnostic, I guess, with Andy, the AI that lives in her arcane armor, and found traces of illusion magic. So after they went over there, they did all of that. They went back to try and figure out what they were going to do on the other side, on the Circle of All, and Gonolith all of a sudden started feeling horrible. And Drew started to feel it as well. And it was the same feeling that Drew had felt while they were traveling through the tree tunnel. I don't know what else I'm going to call it. I should have named that thing. But, tree subway. No, tree tunnel's better.
Run it again.
And so, basically, Gonolith falls to his knees and he says, something's happening. And Drew kind of feels something as well, not as strong, obviously, as Gonolith, because she did not fall over. And Gonolith stated that something was happening at the Rock Gear Crossing, which is the other bridge from the Circle of All to Gizmoboro. So Saf, in haste, zoomed over to the Rock Gear Crossing right as the sun was beginning to rise and saw what looked like Amo Ferric destroying the bridge of the Rock Gear Crossing before vanishing in thin air. And that's where we left the episode.
Me and Drew and we were like heading, because I threw Godoleth gently over my shoulder, and like we were taking off towards him. Yeah, we were taking off towards the bridge. Like, so we're still heading there.
Yes.
Okay.
So the rock gear crossing it's a good 10 to 15 mile trek to get there through the Circle of All itself. With Donaleth having collapsed, he is not able to make this. He's not able to make the tree tunnel, basically, to get you there any quicker. And you have, at the Bridge of Blossoms, the destroyed Bridge of Blossoms, we have Drew, Scar, Gonoleth being carried by Scar, Asla, Sokoba, and Karen. And over at the Rock Gear Crossing, we have Saf by herself. I guess Andy's there too. So,
Andy's always there.
What we're going to do... yeah, Andy's always there. What we're going to do is we're going to do a skill challenge, because that's fun, and I like them.
We've never done one.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
We've done stuff either akin to skill challenges or...
I think it was back in season 1,
whatever.
but yeah.
I think it was
Okay.
season 1.5 when we were doing the chase sequence.
That sounds right.
I'm looking for a dang map to look at while I'm doing all of this.
I needed to move the keyboard out of the way and like put my like shit like right in front of me. I'm like, I gotta be prepared. I'm a professional at.
What's y'all's proficiency bonus now? Like plus 6?
Plus 4.
Plus 4.
Plus 4? That's it?
Yeah, we're only level 10.
Man, y'all should level up or something.
That'd be great.
That'd be a great idea.
It's you've been doing it not experience points based. You've been doing it like monuments based or whatever the fuck.
Well,
the word
whenever
is.
Nathan decides it's good for the story.
I do it whenever I forget that I haven't let you all level up in enough time. What episode are we on tonight? Is this episode 9?
This is 9, yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Nathan helped me earlier with the word I was looking for.
9? God.
I was like, it's not monuments based. What's the word I'm looking for?
Milestone.
Nathan helped me with the word where I was like, because I was talking about a TV show, and I was like, it's like when it fucks with your brain. And I was like, what's the word? And Nathan said cerebral, and it was exactly the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Nathan's good with helping me figure out words.
Okay, so we're going to do a skill challenge. So I need everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Hell yeah.
16.
5. I was scared.
Saf?
Wait, what do you add to initiative again?
Is
Your initiative bonus.
Initiative bonus.
Really?
Oh, then it's 15. Sorry, I was looking at proficiency.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I know how to do this.
All of our bellies hurt. This sucks.
So
I
it's
got
going to
15.
be... We're just going to be tracking the 3 of you, but you can use... like, for instance, Saf, you can use Andy to your advantage. Drew and Scar, you can use Asla, Karen, or Sokoba to your advantage. Or if you're able to make Gonoleth feel better, you can use him to your advantage as well. And anything that's around you.
Hey, are any of us clerics?
So the druids of the circle.
I can make him feel
Yes,
better.
there's one cleric here.
I love
You still
how
got
you're
that good berry?
matching.
That powdered good berry?
Emily, I love how you're matching your chair right now. It's amazing.
Oh, I am. Purple's not even my favorite color.
I know it's green, but you look good in purple. Like this
I know.
purple vibe that's going on. It's you're like
I don't look as good in green. It's a curse.
It's making you glow. It's interesting.
Thank you.
I love it.
This should be the cold open. I like this. Anyway, back to the game.
So obviously something horrible has happened. The rock gear crossing has crumbled. So at the Bridge of Blossoms, everyone on the Circle of All side has perished and is starting to be reclaimed by the circle itself. So Drew felt the spirits all around at the site of the Bridge of Blossoms. I forgot to mention too that Drew's soulbound grimoire is full.
Charge that shit up with some dead body spirits things.
Yeah.
Like a fucking solar powered battery kind of shit.
I'm just borrowing them.
But what are we doing with solar batteries if not borrowing the sun's energy?
It's funny because it's a book and you borrow books from like the library. Like that's just what.
Well, borrowing has the intention of bringing it back. Or of giving it back.
I am going to eventually give these souls on to the shepherd, and the shepherd takes them wherever they need to be. I am borrowing them for their power right now. I just want to put them in my bike for a second and get where I need to be. Then they return to the earth.
So I don't know if this is going to be. Sorry. So yeah, that's what's happening at the Bridge of Blossoms. There's you kind of get the vibe that there's not much you can do here unless you want to investigate what happened here further. But as far as saving lives, so you can either investigate what happened at the Bridge of Blossoms and figure out what has happened here more completely, or you can try and be of help to those at the Rock Gear Crossing.
Gotcha.
So for the skill challenge, I'm going to say that you need 12 successes.
Okay.
12 successes.
Bet.
Before you get four failures.
Man, you are on a roll today with those pauses. That is wild. I need a timer for how long that was up on the screen. Thank you.
It was longer than a TikTok.
Woof.
God. Look, so long as I'm not saying it can just be cut out. All right, so you need 12 successes. I'm going to leave that one in.
It's gonna be like the How I Met Your Mother Ted's college class made that drinking game out of Robin always saying we're gonna do that now.
If we sell, we're gonna put this just super great bundle for It's Sundown Somewhere Together. If we can sell 100 of those, I'm going to make Nova do a super cut of all of my pauses in one video.
Are you trying to discourage people from buying our merch?
An hour of silence.
Are you trying to discourage me from liking editing?
Listen, I'm making jokes here. Okay, so 12 successes before you get 4 failures, and your number that you have to beat is...
That doesn't make them any better.
What? The number to beat is going to be 16.
Fuck.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's fair. I'm
with 4 failures?
If you all are level 10, if you can't get 12 successes...
You get to add your skill points to it.
We have hero points as well, and all of us have inspiration.
Inspiration, proficiency, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll say that you all have max hero points, by the way.
That's fair.
So
I have am I able to use I know these are usually combat skills, like things that I would use when we were in combat, like but can I use my second wind to do bonus actions? But that's
I will adjudicate at the time depending on what you're trying to do.
And then I also have Indomitable, which is reroll a saving throw that you fail.
These aren't going to be saving throws.
Okay. No, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. Okay, so when you get to certain points, I will read some descriptions, but until you get there, I'm just going to let you you all figure out what you want to do with the landscape provided. So, first in the order is going to be Scar. You are right by the Bridge of Blossoms. You are nowhere near the Rock Gear Crossing. You are very far away. What would you like to do?
I feel like
10 miles would probably take all day to get to.
Wait, why?
Realistic walking speed?
If you were carrying,
you're carrying a person and you're like trying to run 10 miles with a person. I think there's another way to get there. We need to think about it. Use our brains.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like,
I mean, you could run like a 6-minute mile and get there in,
that's
60
what I'm saying.
minutes.
10 miles does
That's
not
still
take
an hour.
10 miles does not take more than 2 hours to get to walking. I've done it. So
walking?
Shut up.
Yeah,
short little legs. I can't do walking math right now. I could talk about that all day.
You could literally Google
Have you
Maps
seen
something that's
Nicole
10 miles
walk
away
on the streets of New York, like for real. It's like it's like those like fucking
yeah, but this isn't the streets of New
beach.
York. This is a dense forest. Remember, this isn't a sidewalk.
Just saying.
Like what?
Hey, you gotta walk fast in New York City.
Oh yeah,
Those goes like a wind-up toy.
Concrete jungle. I get it. That's
the
what comes in.
typical walking rate. It'll take you 2 to 3 hours to get to 10 miles. Says Google. That's what Google said. I literally Googled how long does it take to walk 10 miles.
Well, you don't have Google in Lanimora. What are you doing, Scar?
I am going to...
I mean, Nathan, do you want to give a rundown really quick of how skill challenges, kind of like what you can do in a skill challenge? Because I don't think we haven't done it in a long time.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, with a skill challenge, or at least how I run skill challenges, I don't know if it's like rules as written or anything. I mean, technically, it's a 4th edition thing. But basically, you've got this number that you have to beat. I don't care how you beat it, but you can use your skills. You have to use your skills to do it, basically. So you're going to roll your d20 and add your skill modifier. And if you can think of a creative way of how performance fits in this situation, and you roll above that 16, it counts as a success. So yeah, it worked. So basically, you're just trying to beat this number with the skills that you have available to you.
Okay.
Obviously, skills that you are better at, like athletics or intimidation, will give you more of a bonus. Using your religion checks or medicine probably isn't going to be helpful for Scar.
Surprisingly, I have a 2 in religion, but medicine is a 0.
Oh.
Anything that's wisdom based, I have, except for religion, because it was something in like as a tiefling or so. I forget which one it was.
Scar went to church like twice. She only goes on holidays.
Okay.
With the skill challenge, you can also ask me questions about your surroundings.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about the survival check, right? I want to survival, I feel like is the skill that that would automatically kick in this type of situation would be like, I'd be in survival mode. So like, I kind of want to do get a gauge of like what we need to do to stay safe and where we should go from here kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Assess the situation.
Yeah, but as in survival mode.
Yeah, I will allow that.
Okay. So survival is 18, 22.
22. That is a success. So you take a look around. It is dawn here in the Circle of All now. You can more clearly see the carnage that has happened at the Bridge of Blossoms. And in the trees, you can also see what look like some druids who have some sort of authority. And they come up to you and they announce themselves as guardians. So they are the Circle of All's version of Copper Mantles, and they see that you have Gonolith, and they are wondering how they can help. They say that, we can help carry you to where you need to be, or come up with another alternative, but we should be able to get you to the rock you're crossing quickly.
Okay, yeah, we want to do that. But also, he broke. How we fix him?
I was going to say would be a great question for Drew, but she rolled low. But anyway, you've got help from a few guardians around you. Yeah, there are as many guardians as there are people in your party. So if they needed to carry you to where you needed to be, one for one.
I'm sort of gonna
enough for all of you.
I'm gonna, as I was doing this, like I'm gonna like take him like from shoulder to like prop him up, kind of like, you know, I'm not gonna like Weekend at Bernie's him, but like just kind of like hold him up so then Drew will, or whoever the guardians can assess his situation. I'm strong like that.
Sweet. Yes. Okay. So that will bring us to Saf's turn. Saf, you have just seen what looked like Amorpheric completely disappear in front of you. And you see the bridge has been broken. You've seen big pieces of it are falling now into the river. The rock you're crossing itself, it sits lower to the river than the Bridge of Blossoms did. So the distance between the bridge and the water is significantly less. It's not hundreds of feet up in the air. It's maybe a few dozen feet. But you see that one of the pillars that keeps the bridge up is starting to buckle. So the bridge, the rock you're crossing is made out of stone and brass, and there are clockwork mechanisms that are keeping things working in the bridge. It looks like it might also be a drawbridge of some sort.
Sounds steampunk as fuck.
That's Gizmo Burrow, baby.
Okay. So a pillar is giving way, you said.
Starting to buckle. There are people on the bridge as well. You see some of them falling into the water. You see some of them up on the bridge.
I'd like to find out if there's any way to stabilize this pillar. Perhaps an investigation check, if I can stabilize it,
sure.
Or if I can't stabilize it, then I'm going to push it in the opposite direction away from the crowd of people.
I'll let your investigation roll be the judge of that.
Okay. Whoops, not a D100.
Yeah, that's cheating.
That's a 17. No.
Ooh, playing it.
19.
Oh, okay. Still a success. Cutting it close, but that's a success. Okay, so yeah, you see that the bridge, the way that it's buckling, basically there's too much weight on it. One of the other support pillars has given way, and there's no way that this pillar is going to be able to hold this section of the bridge. But the way that the bridge is buckling, you feel like with your arcane armor's help, with Andy's help, basically, you would be able to slow the fall enough that people would be able to, brace for any impact.
Like if I were to fly up to it and use my strength to kind of hold it in place while people evacuated properly?
Yeah. Okay. Your strength and, the thrusters from your suit as well.
Plus I have something special for this magical strength. So,
well, we'll get to that on your next turn. But you know what's happening with the bridge. So now it's going to be Drew's turn.
Finally, let me heal this dude. I would like to magically Jesus heal this man. Thank you.
Are you using medicine?
I was, but I crit myself. I waited this whole time. It's because I made the Jesus joke, isn't it? It's because I made the Jesus joke.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Inspiration, don't we?
Inspiration doesn't let you re-roll.
Yeah, it
does.
does.
It does.
It lets you roll with advantage.
That's what I thought.
Which, if you crit yourself,
Inspiration
then you basically.
But you can't. I thought you couldn't decide to use it.
An inspiration is.
I don't
can I
if it happens before.
Decide to use it even after I've rolled?
I don't care if it happens before or after. You can do it now. It's fine.
Okay, dope. Because I thought that was a rule. Like, you had to say it before you did it. You can't do it and then be like, oh, I have inspiration, and then, do it again. Okay.
Man, who pays attention to the rules?
Pretty sure the rule book says that. That's fine.
That's going to be a 26
I think it does,
using a medicine skill.
Okay, that's a little more like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what specifically are you using to heal Gonoleth? Are you using... He's not dying, so you wouldn't have to use Spare the Dying. Are you using the Powdered Goodberry? Are you just healing him?
I think the Goodberry would make him a little fucked up. That's not kind of what I'm trying to do.
That's right, it's Xanax.
It's also for me for later, so...
That's for me after this thing.
I'm going to need that when this is done, so thank you. No, but I do have Prayer of Healing, but that's for a bunch of people. Hold on. I have not False Life, but Secure Wounds. I have that one. I knew I had some healing shit in here.
Do they have a wound?
You go up to Gonoleth and track that you use that spell too. So you go up to Gonoleth, and after Scar puts him back on his feet, once the Guardians come up, and you lay a hand on him and see how he's doing, because you felt it, what he's feeling as well to a lesser extent, and so you know what specifically needs to be healed within him, and you heal him up real good, and he goes, "Oh, thank you, Drew. Something terrible's happening. We need to get there now."
Absolutely, let's go.
Which will bring us to Scar's turn. Scar. Gonoleth is now upright. He's feeling better. You've got Guardians with you as well. You've got options. What would you like to do to go and help?
I mean, I feel like at this point, this is when Scar would take the fuck off and just go. Like, now that...
You're going to run?
I mean, I feel like that's what I would do, right? Is like, that's my shtick. I'm like, Scar saved the day. Like, I don't just smash. I'm like, my copper mantle training kicks in, right? That's because that's what I was for a really long time. I was a person that did shit. Like, I helped in crisis situations. Not that we ever face anything like on this scale, but I have crisis management training, I feel like. Plus,
do they give that to cops?
That is something that copper mantles receive, yes. Crisis management, it's one of the first
in this world, they do.
Crisis management is ongoing. You need to get continuing education credits for it as a copper mantle.
And I feel
Golden
like
mantles need to go through all of them.
Yeah, I feel like because I was vying for the golden mantle position, I would have been like top of my class, like always doing that extra training shit, picking up those, extra certifications to like, I have to be the best.
She's really good at running.
I have a lot of abandonment issues, and I try to make up for that by as an orphan.
Running really fast.
Yeah, being the best at all the things, which is not very much unlike my real self. So
you're going to try to
skate past that.
run as fast as you can.
Well, I guess like would it be athletics or dexterity or like what am I doing like to get to this fucking bridge?
You're trying
to be athletics.
You're trying to run 10 miles as quickly as possible.
Yo, I got a plus 12 to athletics. I'm just saying. Like, I'm going to do this shit.
She run real fast.
You only need to roll a 4. Yeah, roll athletics. I don't know why I would think that you would want to do dexterity for this when you have a 12 to athletics, but yeah. I know how this works. Believe me, audience. Trust me, I know how this works.
So I rolled a 10, so that's 22.
Okay. So Gonlith is feeling better, and he notices that you put him down, and so he kind of gets the gist of what you're trying to do, and he casts haste on you. As he says, we need to go. As he sees you starting to bolt, and you take off. You're going faster than you've ever run before, but you're able to keep up with the branches and all of the undergrowth and everything that is happening with the just the landscape around you, and you're gonna get there pretty quickly. You're not gonna get there immediately.
I feel like that scene in the last Twilight movie when she becomes a vampire and she's running through the forest for the first time, and she's running so fast, but because her senses are so heightened, like she can see everything that's going on in the forest around her, and it like slows down so that she doesn't hit branches and she can see and hear everything. Like that's what's happening to me right now.
I can't believe we just made a Twilight reference on this podcast.
Yeah, thank you all for listening to the Legends of Lanimora Podcast. This is going to be the last episode.
We have to go.
Listen. Don't make fun of me.
But yeah, it is similar to that, where your senses are heightened. It's like in Limitless. Let's go with Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
So that is what it's like. You are running super fast. You're not going to get there immediately, but you are going to get there quickly. That's success. Drew, it is your turn.
Well, I have been looking through all my shit. I was thinking, maybe I have something that'll make me go fast. I don't have any fast anything in here. Okay, so.
So you're there with Gonolith, Asla, Sokoba, Karen, all the Guardians. Phase step will only take her 30 feet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I thought about it and I was like, that's like nothing. What a dumb move. Quick question. Is there any form of vehicle, and when I say vehicle, it does not have to be motorized, just anything that I could ride upon that would make me go faster?
There are some of the Guardians that are there.
Are they going to turn into horses or something?
No, they're in wild shape. Some of them are. Some of them are birds. Some of them are like gazelles.
She is going to ride on a horse.
Is there a... Okay, so they go in wild shape.
What's the nice way to ask someone if I can ride them?
Can I look at one of the Guardians and be like, can you, one of the ones that either is in wild shape, is there one near me specifically?
I cannot wait to hear the polite way to ask a druid if you can ride them.
Listen, here's the thing. I have a +7 to persuasion. And I plan on using it this turn.
There are multiple Guardians around you, yes.
Okay, I'm going to look at one and be like...
Some of which are in wild shape.
I'm going to look at one of them and be like, would you... no, okay. I'm going to look at one and be like... Okay, I don't know the proper way to ask this, and I would figure it out, but we're kind of in a dire situation. Can one of you transform into something that can pick me up and take me where I need to be, like a really big bird? Either that or be really cool with me riding on top of you for a minute. And that's going to be my persuasion.
Okay.
That sounds like I can't wait to hear what type of way you ask. So can I ride on you?
I would like to be picked up. I do not Drew does not like the idea of having to do that and then getting off of said horse and then being like, thanks, man. Like,
unless it's Asla who's like, yeah, hop on my back, girl. Like,
listen, I'd be okay with that. Okay, that's gonna be 14 plus 7 is
21.
21.
That's enough.
21.
One of the guardians steps up, and one of the ones that was already wild shaped into actually the gazelle. And they say, "Oh, yeah. I mean, would you prefer to be carried, or do you want
much prefer to be carried? If that's okay."
Okay, and you see the gazelle kind of shake, and it looks like the fur just kind of transitions into feathers, and it is a giant owl.
Ah, that's amazing! Drew's losing her fucking mind! Oh my god. That's some spooky shit. Yeah, okay, absolutely. Oh my god. Just to tone down for a second, this is obviously a crisis, but like...
Okay, so they flap their wings a few times, and then they're like, okay, just stay right there. I'll put your arms out.
Okay.
And Drew puts her arms out, and the owl picks you up underneath by each arm in its talons, and you're flying. You're flying.
This is some
Drew's really happy right now. I get that that's fucked up. Like,
this is some fucking Lord of the Rings eagle bullshit. I love it. I'm into it.
Anyway, enjoy running there. Bye.
Listen, I'm fucking fast. I don't need no. I am a gazelle. I became one.
Did I skip Saf's turn?
Yes.
Too bad. I'm already gone.
Why didn't you all stop me?
Because Drew was in the middle of freaking out about an owl.
We forgot the order.
All right. Sorry, Saf. Saf, it's your turn. So you know what you need to do to keep this bridge from buckling. This section of the bridge from buckling quickly and abruptly and throwing people off of it.
Yeah. So I'm going to use an athletics check to...
Bold.
I was just going to say...
to try and stabilize this pillar for long enough for people to evacuate the area properly.
I feel like it has to be strength.
It is
Athletics is a strength.
Oh, I guess so. That feels weird.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check then to try and slow this section of bridge falling and let people get off safely.
Oof, I would like to use my inspiration to roll for advantage.
Okay.
Slightly better. Do I get anything extra from here?
Your athletics bonus.
They're like, no, past that, actually.
Okay.
Anything else?
I would, let's see. Hero points are 2 per.
And you all only get one inspiration.
I already used my inspiration.
So what's your roll?
4 hero points.
That's a pet you've rolled again?
Oh my
With
god.
advantage?
How low did you roll?
I rolled an 8 and an 11.
That's so bad.
So
yeah,
why,
okay.
all you need to do is get it to
points.
14. So why wouldn't you?
Or 4 hero points.
But I would really like.
16,
I would really like to succeed.
I mean, just so long as you hit 16, you sucsucceed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's it's not like a nat 20 type.
So bring 2 hero points would bring me to 15, and then I can expend a charge on my magical strength to add my intelligence modifier bonus, which is +2. So that would be a 17.
Okay. So Saf, you fly down and you see that the bridge is starting to buckle more. This section is, and you real quick you you get up underneath the bridge and you're pushing up against it with the exo, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. And then you dig deep, you divert powers to the thrusters away from the shields, and you're able to hold it up right there. And it very slowly lurches its way down instead of crashing down, what it looked like it was going to do.
Mm-hmm. Can I yell at the same time, get a move on, people?
Yeah, you can hear that. You get the bridge to fall on a pretty large rock that's in the middle of the river. So the people are going to be on this rock, but they're not in the river, which is good. You hear some like, whoa, as like the bridge section starts to lurch. But as everyone gets off the bridge, the whole structure finally gives way with like a hiss, as some steam reservoir inside this pillar has given way, and now it is in the river itself. Mm-hmm. But that is a success. That is your 6th success. Man, I should have made this target higher, huh? Well, I mean, I guess Saf did almost fail, and Drew technically did fail, and y'all only have 1 inspiration. Star's got the only one who's got inspiration left. So we'll see. But speaking of Scar, you're running real fast. This is taking course over a few minutes, I think, that you've run. So I'm going to say that in the time that Saf was able to let this bridge section go slowly and make sure that everyone was off of this section, Scar and Drew are able to separately make their way over in the amount of time that it took that to happen.
Hell yeah.
Indeterminate amount of time. I'm not going to say because it's been a few minutes. So Scar, what would you like to do? You're here. You see that there are people that were on a section of the crossing now on some stones in the river. This portion of the river is pretty fast moving. You see some unfortunate people that are in the river here as well. Some people are getting swept away. Some people have made it to shore, and others, it looks like they are struggling from other sections of the bridge itself. So where there were multiple pillars spanning the mile across the river, Saf was able to save the largest section. But there are people from other sections and other pillars that are either stranded or in the water, it looks like.
I guess I'm going to do athletics again and try to get the people that are in the water.
Okay. You see that there's a section of the bridge where it collapsed closer to the Circle of All, where there are some people in the water at the base of this pillar.
All right. I'm going to get to them and get them out, I guess. Or, like, is there a way that I could, like, push like create my own bridge? Not push the river, like push like a rock to make it so that they can get onto it, kind of like make it a bridge type
like shit. A rock or a tree or something from the Circle of All side to help the people. Roll me roll me a nature or an investigation to figure out if there's anything around to help. And then next turn you can do the athletics to try and do it.
Okay. So let's do... All right. I'm going to use... Roll a 9. Plus 2 is 11. So I'm going to use 3 hero points to make it a 17.
Okay, so you see that there doesn't look to be... Well, here, I'll read this description. This is what I was going to read when you got to the Circle of All side. So you get to the point where the rock you're crossing met the Circle of All. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there was much destruction on this side of the river. There are a group of druids at the edge of what was once the bridge in wild shape, pulling on a thick hempen rope. Other civilians are on the banks of the river pulling people and animals alike to shore. So it looks like the Circle of All has got their side handled, but no one is addressing the people who are stuck out on that pillar. And you see that there's a tree that's tall enough that it should reach if you're able to fell it quickly enough. Because it looks like some of the people are starting to lose their grip on the rocks. It's slippery. It's metal and, smooth polished stone. So they're going to need something to grab onto, and you think you've found something that can do that. Okay. So that's another success. That's going to take us to Sap's turn, now that I'm doing the correct order. Because I should have mentioned the people in the water before, but you saw that this section of the bridge was the most pressing thing at the time when you got here. It was the first thing that you saw moving when the amopheric vision illusion dematerialized. You saw that was the first thing. And so now that you've had some time, you see that there are people in the water, there are people on the rocks nearby, and this is where you are, basically. The section of the bridge that you were holding up has collapsed into the river, and there are some people in the river. So what would you like to do?
All right, since this is a fast-moving river, I would like to prioritize whoever seems to be in the most danger and basically pick them up and fly them to safety on the shore.
Cool.
On either side, whichever.
Okay, so how are you going to do that?
I guess... And can I sleight of hand them? Like scoop?
Yeah, sure.
Yay! Yeah,
pluck them from the river.
Plucked from the river. Okay.
Did you just dump a bunch of points into sleight of hand again because of what I let you do in Into Depths and Darkness?
Yes.
Which you can find now on novistudio.io in our shop. Get it for free by the purchase of $20 or more.
That's a 26.
Okay. You managed to spot the people that seem to be struggling the most here. You see some people that are in the rapids here in the fast-moving part of the river. You're able to swoop in and get them up on this rock formation of the people that you had saved from the previous section of bridge that fell. And you do it. You go back and forth a few times. You're doing this repeatedly, just going in and plucking people out of the river. So I'll say you're doing this as other things are happening. Mm-hmm. And that'll bring us to Drew's turn. Drew, you're here in the talons of an owl. Sorry.
Okay, so quick question. Are we doing the skill challenge thing where we can only use, we can't use the same skill twice?
I don't care if you use the same skill twice or not. So long as you're getting the job done, you do it.
Okay, cool. So, since I arrive on the scene and I am a cleric, I figure I do Prayer of Healing, which is supposed to heal groups of people. So I guess I'm generally also, running around providing medical care.
Okay, on the Circle of All side?
I mean, to anyone who needs it, but I guess wherever I'm needed most, wherever... the safest places where the hurt people are gathering. That's where I am.
You see on your approach, because you're on the Circle of All side, the distance between the two sides is about a mile wide, but you immediately see that there are people being brought on shore on the Circle of All side. Okay. And they are, it's people being pulled from the river and people who, have been brought back from being nearly drowned or, they're just exhausted from, the fighting against the river for so long.
I also know spare the dying is a bonus action. So I think, just in general, I'd be on the Circle of All side, kind of healing and stabilizing people.
Okay. Roll me a medicine check, then.
19.
Okay, that's a success.
Yeah.
So you see that there are people who the druids are pulling over, and they're doing a fine job. Most of the druids are going back to help more people who are in more dire need, but of the ones that are sitting on shore, you kind of wave the druids away and say, "Go help more people, get more people out of the river," and you start to just healing everyone around. Some people who may be close to death, you cast Spare the Dying on. It's cantrip, so it's free. You cast Prayer of Healing, and you're basically going through and making sure that everyone's cool here. Everyone's good.
Not yet. I'm kidding. I'm making a joke.
No. So yeah, you continue to do that as Saf is, moving people to and fro. But what is Scar doing?
Scar gonna push this tree, make a bridge.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, that's what I want. That's I want to get those people that are stranded out in the river. And you said there's a tree.
Yep.
So athletics.
Athletics. Or anything else that you think would work.
Nah, it's got to be athletics. This is a straight up athletics. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's a nat 20.
32. You know what? That'll do it. That's a success.
I flipped the whole fucking tree across the river.
Yeah, you don't even bother pushing the trunk. You get underneath the roots and you just pull, and the tree, the whole main root system of the tree just pulls right out of the earth. In your
the druids
adrenaline rush.
I was about to say, are these druids oh my god!
I just decapitated their friend.
No, see, you kept the roots intact. That's what's important.
Oh,
the roots are intact. That's
fair. I didn't break it. I just lifted the roots out so that they're showing. I get what you're saying.
And it's, for helping others.
You relocated it.
The tree comes down with a...
That's it, screaming. You heard it.
As it comes down and its boughs... the canopy hits the water and... It strikes right near enough to the stone pillar. Stone and metal pillar.
What the fuck? Why'd you do that to me? And then the water is also yelling, yeah, what the fuck?
But enough of the branches are close enough that these people that were stranded are able to grab onto the branches and they start, you can see them visibly relax as they start to make their way up the trunk of the tree.
I helped.
Excellent.
See, I can use my destruction powers for good.
Good.
Not just busting through walls.
Saf, it is your turn now.
Okay.
So you're still continuing to pluck people out of the river. You've got maybe a dozen by this point. By the time you just saw this tree topple down too, over on the Circle of All side. You're kind of in the middle of the river.
So, I mean, are there still more people in the river that need saving?
You've gotten just about everyone in this area that you've seen that was struggling against the current, in the water and all that. So yeah, you're pretty good. You've got just about everyone here. So, and you see that on the other pillar that's been taken care of by Scar. You do notice that what's your passive perception?
Ooh,
not
11.
as high as Drew's.
Okay, well, that's good enough because you see that. So there were 3 main pillars that were keeping the rock gear crossing up. So the second pillar, calling the second pillar the one that you saved all the people on, Saf. The third pillar is the one that Scar just dropped the tree to. On the first pillar, the one that's closest to Gizmoburo, Saf, you see that there is some sort of pressure release that has just happened over on the second pillar. It looks like when the pillar there broke, it shore off in a way that compromised the integrity of the whatever mechanism is keeping the pillar itself in working order when it was full and when it was complete. Basically, there is some mechanism that now there is a pressure release that's happening, and you, in your artificer's knowledge, kind of know that there might be something wrong.
Extreme mechanical failure.
Do your artificing.
Okay, so
absolutely in character. Just do artificing, Safina. Artifice it.
Yeah, I just pushed a tree down, and I'm like, I did my thing. You do your artificing thing.
Do your job.
Can I tell what would happen if this were to fall, or no? I guess. Can I tell if it's gonna fall? In general,
it's not. This isn't like a falling situation. This is like is there going to be an explosive event happen?
Me and Emily
much different.
Yeah, we just had the same whoa reaction.
You I guess you heard it first. It was like a pop and a hiss, and you can see that there is some sort of gas or pressure releasing inside of this pillar. And in the back of your mind, there could be an explosive event.
Okay,
this is something like act first, ask questions later type of thing.
All right. Since I'm an artificer, and since I'm from Gizmoburo, would I know how these bridges were built so that I can try and... is there a pressure release valve that I can flip or turn?
Yeah, the chances of that your family are the ones... I was going to say, the chances that your family are the ones that made this bridge are high, I feel like.
Listen, the Thornburns were potion makers. They were not pneumatic actuarial artificers.
You're right, they just donated the money to build the bridge.
Potion makers.
Listen, not every...
They funded the bridge.
Thornburn is a potion person. I will remind you of Lottie. Is she a rogue?
They don't build bridges.
It's a poison, if not a potion.
I'm just saying, not all Thornburns are part of the family business.
That sounded scary.
It's like the Thornburns are the mob, basically.
That's a 23.
Okay, did you use any... Yeah, I guess you didn't use any of your hero points then.
No, I just have a really good history.
Good. Okay, so you see this depressurization happen, and you go, "Oh shit!" And because you know that these bridges they're basically, it's the pressure within these pillars themselves. The pillars are a lot smaller than you would think that they would need to be for a bridge, because it's the pressure itself that's keeping the bridge up. It's like the opposite of a suspension bridge. It's a hydraulic bridge. And so when...
A compression bridge. That made sense. It would fit better. That's what my stupid brain.
Did you say compression?
Yeah.
A compression bridge? Yeah, it's a compression bridge. It's a compression bridge.
Why'd y'all get silent? Like, that was stupid. I hate y'all.
I did it mostly because I thought it was funny because everyone else was silent, but no, it's a compression bridge.
I also thought you said it's a depression bridge, so I was like, what?
I mean, it is now.
Now it's a depression bridge. Anyway, this is a compression bridge. Good. So the hydraulics actually keep the bridge up. It's not that it's sitting on top of stone. It's being pushed up by the hydraulics. So that if there's a depressurization happening, that this thing needs to be more rapidly depressurized, otherwise it's going to go explosive. And so you go over there and you see one of the valves that is this is critical. And you look around for a second, and the needle's going up higher and higher and higher, and it's almost to the red. And then you find the depressurization valve, and you hit it with your fist, and it whirs off of the housing that it's on. And you zoom away as quick as you can, because you know that a rapid depressurization, while it isn't explosive, it is a lot. And it looks like a jet or a rocket has just taken off, as out of that valve comes all of this pressurized gas. And so there's a thick fog or mist that just comes pouring out over the river. You can see it from the Circle of All side, Drew and Scar. But you see Saf flying away from it. And Saf, as you got a little closer to this, you saw that there were a bunch of people on the base of the pillar as well. They were safe, but if there had been an explosive event, they would not have been. Okay. So that is where... So you know that there are people there that are going to need to get got, but they're safe for right now. And that will bring us to Drew's turn.
Right.
Drew, you can finish out this skill challenge or give us the first failure.
Okay, so the thing that looks like Amotheric, is that gone at this point?
Mm-hmm. Gone.
Can I see if I sense any magical energy still remaining here? Like, can I use Arcana?
Yes.
To, like, feel the vibes?
A vibes check?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Vibes check. It's gonna be a nat 20. Do I have to add something to it, or still, even though I rolled a nat 20?
Yeah, add your whatever. Just give me that true number. 24.
I have a +4 to Arcana.
Okay. So you succeed. Everything is fine. You've completed the skill challenge.
We did it! Skill challenge.
Oh, well, hey, let me describe it.
We did it. God. I'm just being. I can be happy.
You can't be happy because Drew, you had that right at the crack of dawn. You felt ill, basically, because just like Gonolith said at the end of last episode, it's like something was wrong. Something is going to happen. There is going to be some sort of spirit release. You felt it. You knew that's what it was. As you look around and you see things have quieted down, you feel fine. And you reach out with this, budding knowledge of spirits, basically, that you've kind of made a connection with in the Circle of All, and you don't sense that feeling anymore, which is good, because there isn't going to be a spirit release. It looks like you've saved, just about everyone that you could have saved.
Okay, and I don't feel like any lingering magic or anything from where Amotheric was, or quote-unquote Amotheric, or whatever, where this was.
You sense some latent illusion magic, just like Saf did. I think this might be the first time that you sensed it, but it would confirm what Saf had felt already.
I'm going to voice the question out loud, but like, because Drew was born in a shade pocket, does she have some sort of would she be able to tell that there was a rip in the shade if there was one?
That's a good question. Thank you.
Wouldn't the lore keepers like to know?
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be some sort of advantage to her being like, what are you? I forget the name. What?
Eladrin.
Shady.
Eladrin, that's the word.
She's an Eladrin.
Shady.
Because she was... Eladrin are born in either Fae or Shade Pocket, so it's one or the other. But there's no known correlation between being born in Eladrin and having any knowledge of the Fae or Shade Pockets.
That doesn't mean that Drew doesn't feel it, though. That's what they would like to know. Yeah.
I'm not asking the lore keepers what they know. What do I know as Drew? I was born in a shade pocket, and I was in a shade pocket
recently.
On purpose recently, and now I'm standing in front of what could be maybe a shade pocket.
Or
the question is, do I have more insight on where this illusion magic is? Do I have any insight on maybe there being some a rip or a shade, something happening here? Is the veil thin?
I will allow you to make a supplemental Arcana check for that.
Okay. I feel I rolled a natural 20 before.
I feel like the veil.
Well, that was specifically for to see if Amorpheric was there, if there was latent magic there.
Okay. I'm gonna roll an Arcana. Hush.
And did
natural 20, I swear to God. It's pick me, I know this doesn't mean anything, helps. But oh my God, I cannot believe I just did that again. Tell me.
Roll me another nat 20 and I'll tell you everything you want to know about the show. Do it right now. Roll me another nat 20.
The dice said tell her.
Yo, roll it again just to see if you get another one.
Call the bluff.
Yeah, call it.
It's not going to work. That's a 5, but you still have to tell me. I just proved my dice isn't loaded.
You don't sense any shade pocket
or shade rip. Is there any shade involved? Is what
there
I was
shade
asking.
Involved? Is the veil thin? I'm being serious. Do I feel the other side?
That's not the nature of.
I know, but
shade.
I'm trying to explain. The vibe
I know what you're
trying
to say. I mean,
and you're saying no.
No, it does not feel that way.
Okay. As long as you understand what I'm trying to say, and you're saying no, that's Max, fine. I'm just trying to clarify.
Even though you didn't like Maxine particularly well, she did pique your interest when she would talk about going into the shade like that, and the way she described it, it wasn't like the veil was so thin. It was when you were close to the shade rip, it was you just felt weird. And when you went into it, you felt different too.
Is that your Maxine voice? I love it. She sounds like a girl from the valley.
So the way that she described it, it was more no, she was saying that when you went through into the shade from a shade rip, it was more like passing through a curtain and less I have stepped through a magical field. It was more of a physical change rather than a magical change.
I get you.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be able to detect that, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just, that's what I mean by it's not the nature of the way that the shade and the material plane interact.
It's more like walking through like an actual physical door that's right there and going into a different space rather than it is magical. Okay.
Yes, that is more what it's like.
Question. With that roll that she made specifically about that, would the second nat 20, would she be able to tell, because the shade itself and ripping into the shade and stepping into it doesn't give off any sort of magical vibe, that doesn't mean that the blade that is used to do it isn't giving off some sort of magic, because it's a magical blade. So would she be able to pick up that magic if it was used?
Like sonar.
That's what I'm saying. You made a magic check. You made an arcana check. There would, if a Shade Ripper was used in this scenario, that particular magic should have been able to be detected. I'm harping way too much on this.
No, I know. I get you. I know what you all are trying to do. I will say that you might have been able to get those vibes had you attuned to a Shade Ripper.
Mm-hmm. Maxie wouldn't even let me look at it.
I was just gonna say, don't they still have them?
They have them, but they are attuned to them. You can't have multiple people attuned to a Shade Ripper. I get what you mean.
That's true.
Because
I still feel like Drew would have been like, "Let me study this dope ass knife you got."
Listen, you did not tell me that is what you did during your downtime. I told you all that you were in contact with these people.
I know, and I should have. I didn't think about it, and you're absolutely right. That is something I should have done then.
Anything that you wanted, and Scar.
It's on my list. Listen, I'm gonna call Maxine.
Scar played Zuth
one of those Shea Rippers.
Gyros.
Scar didn't just play Zuts and Gyros. Scar got to know her other characters very well. Like the other people, Nicole's characters got to know each other very well.
And I specifically said that Drew hated Maxine, so like there's...
Which is fair, because she would.
Yeah.
Drew made a basically lizard folk office space, got her own secretary and everything. And her she just got a fancy place to put her chair.
Yeah.
That was what was important to Drew.
And then Safina built
Saf did something productive and made an exo.
I'm pretty sure I learned Draconic or some shit too.
Yeah,
Saf also didn't contact her family, so...
Okay, I will call Maxine and be like, "Give me one of those knives later." It's on my list.
You just on your shell phone. You just real quick. Hey, get me one of those knives. Bye.
Yeah.
Just gonna go pick one up at the store and send it to you. Like,
can I do something?
Yes. No. Sorry, I'm done roasting my players and their downtime activities.
It's okay. It's not a roast for me. So with this latent illusion magic, can I cast Identify on it?
Identify only works on an object, right?
It's like, don't you have to hold it?
Can I touch where the illusion magic is lingering?
Will that
help?
You want to touch the air?
Waft it.
No, unfortunately, that's not how Identify works. I let you all just do inspiration whenever you wanted, but I'm not going to let you identify just air.
The air.
That's where I draw the line. That's where I put my foot down. You can't identify
At least we know
air.
It's somewhere.
Well, can't she do the same thing that she did at the other bridge where she had Andy kind of reconstruct what happened? Maybe she can because she actually witnessed it as well as Andy assessing the situation. Maybe she can see where the illusion came from.
Let me ask Saf, what are you trying to gain from that knowledge? And maybe I can tell you what you can try.
Like who cast it, probably.
I would like to determine whether or not someone had cast like something like Major Image. Or something similar to that.
Like the particular spell.
Yeah, it's really hard to track magic in that way. much like with the Shade Ripper, you would have had to be attuned to know like kind of what that latent Shade Ripper magic looks like. It's like if you were not the one who cast the spell, like if it's not in your spell history, your spell cookies, like where you've cast haste last time, you cast haste over here. You can kind of still attune to that, not attune to it, but you've got an innate knowledge of where you cast your spells, your own spells, but you don't really have knowledge of where other people cast their spells. It's like there's a firewall, not an actual firewall. But does that make sense? Like that's just the nature of magic here.
Yeah, I gotcha. I know it was a long shot. Just had to check.
No, but I mean, like, wouldn't Saf be able to do what she did at the other bridge with the weird, like Andy's reconstruction of the scene? Mm-hmm. But because she actually witnessed part of it herself, there's more to the story, and maybe because it happened, there's less time between when it happened than there was before. There's more that she can glean from doing that, like where it actually originated from.
Andy has the files, Saf, when you were coming over, because you had her do that analysis at the Bridge of Blossoms. I feel like you probably Andy, her themselves, actually started recording when they saw what matched at the Bridge of Blossoms. So she's got that, or keep gendering this AI. They have those records downloaded, basically.
Okay.
So you can review those later.
I would like to tune into that real quick and see if in my flight toward Amorpheric, if I can scan the video for something that looks like a shade rip, I guess.
Okay.
Enhance.
Roll me investigation, please.
Enhance.
18.
You don't see anything that looks like what Pax, Maxine, and Tora described as a shade rip. You do notice that there's something weird on the Gizmaburo side of the bridge.
Go on.
It appears that there is a figure who is moving in the same way that Amorpheric is.
You're calling attention. This is important.
I am.
Look. Listen, you're telling us some weird shit. What the fuck? There's like a person? Like he's moving the same way, like throwing...
Humanoid?
It's a humanoid, yeah. Humanoid figure, humanoid size, moving in the exact same way Amorpheric is.
And what does this humanoid look like?
The image isn't as good as you would hope.
There's no way to, like, enhance. Make it bigger.
The closer and closer you get, the grainier it gets.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way to make it. If the bigger you make it, the less. It's more like you need to like. What's the word? Not enhance, but like there's a word that I can't remember.
Is this humanoid just making the Amorpheric motions while standing next to people? Or are they kind of off to the side?
They seem like they're off to the side.
Does it look like in the footage that anybody notices them?
It's kind of hard to tell from this distance. You can't really make out faces and eye lines.
I feel like we need to go to the Gizmaburo side and ask some questions. Someone had to have seen this.
I would like to go to exactly where I saw that figure standing or doing the actions in the video. I would like to fly to that exact spot.
Are you going by yourself, or are you taking everyone else with you?
Pick me up.
Okay. I pick up Drew.
I feel like I would be the one that you would... Well, no, that's fair.
Where's my owl?
Okay,
the owl's there.
The
guardian's there. Another guardian has shown up by now, too. And is like, hey, do you want to ride, too? And, like, points a feather at Scar.
Is there any way for me to get across by myself? Like jumping and climbing or something, or no?
Can I
like
parkour?
Can I parkour? No, honestly, parkour. Like
the pillars themselves are too far apart.
I mean, I'm heavy. That's all. I don't want to put any strain on these poor things.
This is a big, big bird.
It's a giant owl.
All right, Tolkien, take me with the eagles. Like,
let's go.
Okay. So you all get to the other side. As you get to the Gizmoboro side of the bridge, you see a golden mantle issuing orders among the rubble of the demolished Rockgear crossing. They're directing the copper mantles and civilians in the area to move the wreckage and search for survivors as they themselves hoist huge beams that once worked some mechanism of the bridge. They're wearing their ceremonial brass full plate, including helm. It looks like they were caught on the way to or from a parade, as their armor is highly polished. They turn to you as you land and gesture for your help in moving one of the larger beams off a battered cart.
That's Scar's
good. Thing. Yeah, I was literally just gonna be like, these are my like people, right? Like these are who I spent a lot of time with. So like, even though I'm not a mantle anymore, that mindset is still there. And so when I see fellow mantles in like this type of situation, I feel like that shit just kicks in straight away. That's like my natural state of being. So obviously I'm going to go and help them.
Cool. Roll me an athletics, please.
13 plus 12 is 25.
Okay. You go up to the golden mantle and they heave and hoe, and you heave and hoe as well, and you get this beam off this cart. You see that it's there was someone trapped inside, and they needed help getting out. And the mantle turns to you.
Do I know who this golden mantle is?
You wouldn't know who it is. I mean, it could be anyone.
Why wouldn't I know?
They've got their helm on.
It's Ken, and you met him at one time at Sleepaway Cop Camp.
No, it was
Ken.
It's more like...
So they're wearing specific armor. It's their ceremonial brass armor.
Oh, so okay. So it covers their... Yeah.
It covers the face. It's... All golden mantles look the same when they wear it, except for height differences. It's, that type of armor. Like, it is used for very specific purposes. You don't wear it all the time. That type of thing. So the mantle turns to you and says, thanks for your help. It's great that you all got here. Hey, were you were you responsible for that pillar that went but didn't explode?
Talking to you there. Short stuff.
Well, because I would have flown directly to where I saw that figure on the footage. Is that where this cart is?
No, it's a little ways off. But as you landed, you saw what was going on, and you saw that people were mulling about.
And then Scar ran over and immediately got like full cop. So we had to like kind of be like, hey, what's that? Like we were like, this person was like, come help. Immediately like pulled us into that, and we needed to talk to people anyway. So I'm assuming we're nearby that spot, but not like exactly in it.
Yeah, you're close.
So I went to the exact spot, but I'm not landing because I would like to try and see if there are any footprints made.
Okay, roll me an investigation with disadvantage, please. There's been a lot of traffic through here.
I thought you said they were off to the side.
They were off to the side, but ever since everything popped off, there's been a lot of back and forth of people moving around.
16.
Okay. You see a set of prints that might be who you're looking for. If your hunch is correct and you think that this is some sort of magic user, there's some soft-soled prints nearby.
All right. I would like to scan those prints and determine their shoe size and about how tall they would be.
All this while this mantle is asking you questions.
I was like, I'm pretty sure this guy asked you a question and you just left?
Well, I feel like we crossed paths, but I went to that location and you went to the cart. That's what's happening in my head. No, we landed,
this guy was like, help. And then Scar was like, helping, immediately went to go help.
Yeah,
and this guy was like, cool, thanks. Hey, are you the one that fixed that thing? And you were like just fucked right off, huh? He was standing there and went, okay. I guess I point after staff and I'm like, well, she did. She's kind of on a hunch right now. Please ignore her. She's not usually this rude.
That's what happens sometimes. A lot has happened here this morning. I mean, I'm glad to see those like you here helping. This is a horrible tragedy that's happened. That monstrosity taking down this bridge, and I hear reports that the Bridge of Blossoms is down as well.
Yeah, we came from there. It's actually, thankfully we were able to save more here than we were at the Bridge of Blossoms. It's not looking good over there either. Quick question. When you were you here right at the beginning when all of this went down, or did you not come over till later?
We heard the cacophony and we came as soon as we could. It was horrible. It sounded like there was an earthquake or an avalanche or something, and this isn't a place where you see earthquakes or avalanches.
Did you actually
So we came as quickly as we could.
Did you actually see the monstrosity?
The survivors talked about what they saw, and they said it was a huge statue. Some said that they had seen something similar in the archives, but there aren't many that would be in both places. It's uncommon to see something like that. It's not something you easily forget, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to assume this guy showed up after, so he didn't see the actual thing. Correct?
That's the vibe you're getting. They said that they got here and they were, just helping as soon as they got here.
Okay.
And that's kind of the general feel that you get. You see that they're, where on the druid side, they kind of brought people to shore and they were, helping as best they could with, poultices and, giving what aid they could in the form of healing magic. Here there are mantles. This is more of a organized response. There are, tents set up, and there are clerics who are seeing to people. There are, people who are moving the rubble, trying to clear the bridge as soon as possible, getting any demolished building, because there are some buildings that are pretty close here on this side, getting those safely torn down and getting people away and all that stuff. There are people with food, people with water, helping the civilians that are around this area that have been displaced by this destruction.
Are there any survivors around that I can see? Anyone in a shiny blanket?
Yeah, there's someone in a shiny blanket nearby.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. I am cleric. So I'm gonna actually walk around and I'm just gonna make sure everyone's chill. If that's cool.
By all means,
throw out those healing vibes. I feel like this person needs it.
We need as much help as we can get. Please help.
I'm gonna go up to this person and be like, Hi, I'm Drew. I am a cleric. Are you hurt? She's not a doctor. She's doing her best.
You come up to it's a tabaxi. That's it. We haven't seen a tabaxi in a while.
Hell yeah.
They're shaking, shivering. They're wet. They got pulled out of the water. They look like a sad cat.
Can I actually have like tea in a thermos or something at this point? Like now it's kind of settled.
Yeah, everything had settled. You felt that there were no spirits that were going to be released. You made some tea. You've got it. Warm.
Okay, so I'm going to hand them a cup of tea and be like, oh, they don't like tea?
No, they're shivering.
Okay. I was like, oh no. I'm going to hand them a cup of tea and be like, here for warmth. And then I'm going to pat their shoulder and I'm going to do, what is it? Is it Cure Wounds? Yeah, I have another slot of that. Yeah. Cure Wounds, just in case they've got anything going on. I just kind of like heal their body.
Okay. They seem to shiver a little less and say, thank you for the tea. It's much appreciated. This is not how I thought the day was going to go.
Of course. Were you here when it first happened? Did you see everything happen?
The statue, the monster, the same one from the archives. I was there for both. Who has such luck?
For both? That sucks.
I was with my family. We were going to the archives to go to the aquarium, and all of a sudden, statue, destroy everything. And here I am I have business in the circle, and statue, destroy everything. I'm never leaving home again.
I mean, that's fair. I wish I had better advice, but dang, if that doesn't suck. I do have a quick question. I am kind of trying, we're trying to kind of figure out what happened here, obviously. We are working with you, and I point at Scar, and I'm like, we're with the Mantles, and Sky like wave at Scar. Hi, okay, yeah, see, we're with the Mantles. I just have a quick question. We were wondering if you saw anything before this happened that was a little weird. Like, did you see anyone standing in one place where they should have been moving? Did you see someone, maybe when everyone else was running, they were walking towards it or something like that? Anything weird?
No, I was too concerned. Having seen it once, I tried to run as quick as I could, and I was in the river. No, I didn't see anything.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I don't know how else to ask that without being like, did you see someone like kind of like jiving next to this thing? Like, I don't know how else to ask that. And I also don't know if they would understand what I would, if I'm like, we saw on a video. I can't say that.
You are sitting there just comforting this poor tabaxi, and you hear a voice. It's a kid.
Don't do this, Nathan.
Hi, Miss Elfwady. I saw something like that.
I hate you.
Can I have some tea too, please?
Ew. Okay. For those who don't know, I hate Nathan's kid voice. It makes me like actually sad. Anyway, yes.
Listen, nothing bad's gonna happen to this kid. Everything bad has already happened.
Better fucking not. For real. We will fight later. So anyway, I'm gonna take out my thermos and give this kid a little cup of tea.
Thank you, lady. I like tea. I'm
gonna kneel down and be like, so you said that you saw something weird when the stone giant was attacking?
Yeah, it was like a puppet guy.
A puppet guy? Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, he looked just like the big statue, doing everything with the statue.
Yeah, I love this kid. Okay, can you tell me anything else about him? Can you tell me what he looked like?
They were wearing robes and shoes, and he had hair.
Good job. Could you tell maybe what color his robes were?
They were green robes.
Green robes. Does that mean anything to us?
You know that the lore keepers wear green robes.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the lore keepers.
Okay. I'm going to kind of like kneel down. I've got my hood up, and I'm going to be like, can you keep a secret?
I'm good at secrets.
Okay. I'm going to push back my hair and my hood so he can see my ears. They're pointy. Which I have blue skin, so that's fucking wild. I'm sure everyone thinks I'm a tiefling or some shit, and then I do that, so that's wild. And I'm going to be like, I have pointy ears. I'm actually an elf. But I have to keep it a secret.
The kid looks up and goes, "You're an elf? I'm an elf too." And they pull their long hair back.
Oh my god! You're like, yeah, exactly. Do you know if the person in the green robes had ears like we do?
I think so.
I don't like that shit at all. Okay. I'm gonna reach. I have like some sort of bag. I'm assuming I have a bag or like a robe with a big pocket. And I'm gonna hand this kid a piece of paper and what amounts to crayons, but it's probably like balls of wax, like colored wax. And I'm gonna be like, here you go. Like, I was like, can you draw me a couple pictures and can you make one of them a picture of what this person looked like? And then you can also, if you can also draw me a picture of a flower. I'd really like it.
Okay. They get to drawing, and
Dope.
They're doing that. So, Saf, your investigation.
Yeah, while this is happening, can I track where these footprints go?
Yeah, roll me a survival. And I'm going to have to say this is at disadvantage as well because of the traffic in the area.
Shit, that was a natural 20. And a 2. That's a 3.
Okay, you are able to follow the tracks for a little bit, and then they just disappear. It's as if they're those. You start to think maybe I was just imagining that there were soft sole footprints here. Maybe it was just old, hard prints that had gotten, blown away.
They just. It looks like, so the prints look like they're walking somewhere and then they just abruptly stop.
Yeah. Like you only get like 2 or 3 footprints in the trail and then it's just gone.
Okay. Can I determine the shoe size and the probable height based on either the shoe size or a surrounding area landmark, like how many bricks tall this person might have been?
I will say that based on what you found that you thought were the soft-soled shoes and the information you got from the recording that Andy took, you would put the humanoid at around 5 feet, maybe not much taller than 5 feet tall.
Okay. All right. I'm going to join Scar and Drew after this. I don't think there's anything more I can glean from this information.
Okay. Scar, what were you doing during all this? You just helped this golden mantle with the beam. Is there anything else that you wanted to do?
I mean, I guess, like, I'm doing what, like, my training kicks in. My brain is just helping move people along, directing traffic, like, moving more things, assisting more people, that kind of stuff.
Okay. The golden mantle looks at you and says, have you done this before? You're pretty good at it. Have you ever thought about joining the Mantles?
I've been asked that before, but I'm not a joiner. I just like to help. And then I continue on my merry way.
They say, that's a shame. We really could use those who want to help. That's all we want to do.
Can I do a really when I join Scar and Drew, can I do a really performative landing in front of this golden mantle?
Superhero landing.
Not like superhero, like kneeling landing, but like gently descending, but making my presence well known to them.
That's a neat little contraption you got there. You're an artificer then, huh?
Yeah. How'd you guess? Oh, and I gesture to the suit.
Yeah, the suit kind of gives it away. I mean, we're in Gizmoboro too, huh?
Yeah, true. So, what's the scene here? Is everyone accounted for or okay?
Well, it looks like we've got everything pretty much under control at this point. And at this point, they remove their helm. And you see that the mantle is a middle-aged hobgoblin woman. Her features are scarred and battle-worn, and she wears her black hair in tight braids that allow her helm to sit comfortably on her head. She extends her hand for a handshake. It's lucky we happen to be passing through here today. I hate to think of what would have happened had we not been here. Many lives were saved here today thanks to you. Oh, I apologize. I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Thin Quill, Golden Mantle of Fellows. And she smiles at you knowingly. And that's where we're going to end today's episode.
Shit!
Thank you all so much for tuning into the Legends of Lanimora Podcast. I had a great time DMing. I hope my players had a great time playing, and I hope that you, listener, had a great time listening. Sorry if this episode is a little long. I had to get to that reveal, and it took them a little while. So the lull this week. I think the lull this week is going to be me for not reading up on skill challenges before doing a skill challenge.
I think skill challenge was fun.
It was fun, but I wanted it to be a little harder. I wanted it to be a little more.
I mean, that's fair. We breezed through that.
You did breeze through it.
We rolled well.
And that we have hero points and shit, too.
No, I know. But I should have made you work a little harder for it. So I think I'm going to have to be the lull this week because I didn't read up on them. I knew I wanted to do one. Here we are. The legend this week, I think, is going to have to be Scar for running 10 miles in a matter of minutes. That's wild.
That's wild.
That's wild. That's quick.
I'm like, a remarkable athlete.
It was not a long amount of time that it took you to get there.
I ultimate scarred that entire skill challenge.
Yes. And ripping a whole tree from the ground as well. That was just
that's true.
Like for the distances that you had to deal with and the things you had at your disposal. I think that Scar definitely was the legend, and just surprised all of us. We're all Scar deep down, really. But anyway, if you want to reach out to us on social media, that's something people can do, right, Nicole?
They can. They can go to Twitter and find us at Lanimora Pod. Also check out at Novi Studio or at Novi_studio for our studio page. If you want to talk to me personally, you can find me at Nicole the Nerdy.
You can find me at _Nova Gamer.
I'm at Neurotic Good.
You can find me at _Squid Toaster.
We also have a website, novistudio.io, where you can find our About Me section. Check out all of our different shows that we have. Artwork for our amazing world. We got some new artwork recently of my favorite ship couple, Silba. My favorite thing, though, on the entire website is our merch store.
We have a merch store! You can go buy things with our logos on them and then wear them or drink from them. That's fucking wild. We also have merch for our other shows, like our City and Snow, which if you've been watching me this whole time, I've been drinking from a City and Snow mug, which seems rude, but you listen to it, you'll understand. We also have pants you can only get in white. That's it. That's so much cool stuff, and we're going to be adding way more cool stuff. And we also have the prequel campaign, as well as the Pact of the Shepherd, if you would like to use those in any of your things. And also listen to the prequel campaign, which is us being very new, but has a lot of story information that you might find pretty interesting right about now.
If you enjoy the show, tell your friends about us, leave a like or a review on your podcasting platform of choice. New episodes come out every other Tuesday, so stay tuned.
Yes, please stay tuned and be sure to, for real, just go and hit that follow on the Novi Studios Twitter so that you can know about new shows that are coming up. We have a new show coming up in the next week or so, I think, at the release of this episode. Let's talk about it with our very good friend Lex, who has been on a number of our live stream days for Novi Presents, and they are getting their own show, and we're very excited about it. And be sure to check out their merch when it comes out, because it's going to be just
wild.
Fire. So good. I feel like I can't say fire. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in again. I hope that you had fun, and let's see what happens next week. And don't forget,
let's be legends!
We did it.
We actually did it this time.
I'm so proud of us.
Sort of.